because the money was given to an individual. Therefore, organize the list, give us the names of the individual recovery, so that as a committee, we come up with our clear resolution to the government of Uganda.
Chair,
wait first. Let our member add something.
Chair, just for curiosity, I want to hear from the team.
If we did a correct assessment of the enterprise of the individuals, and the individuals got the money, and they were allowed to swim and float with the money for 2 years, somebody should even be able to say, just 1 month, you should be able to pay. And you, again, after 2 years, you are again given another 1 year in which to pay. I want to see. Because this time, Chair, if we don't act from the beginning, we will fall into the other problem, which we shouldn't, because this money really must help people. So, gentlemen, and Chair, by the way, I would now mind all the other issues which have been raised. I want us to now concentrate on the recoveries. And can I have some document to tell me so that I can go over individually to see how people are paid? Because good enough, you say the first group of people should have finished by March, and the second group of people by September. I want to see amongst the recovery so that I make a desegregation between the ones who are still coming up to September, and I want to see the ones who are supposed to end this month, so that we can see a red flag. But for this month, now there is supposed to be no room for anything, but to make sure that they have recovered everything. So can we have the documents?
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Veto. The focal point person, the committee is interested because the money was given to an individual. Therefore, organize the list, give us the names of the individual recovery, so that as a committee, we come up with our clear resolution to the government of Uganda.
Chair,
wait first. Let our member add something.
Chair, just for curiosity, I want to hear from the team some projects, and we're expecting our people to be paying out of the projects that we supported. I just want to hear from you. You see, we may also pause and say, yes, we are recovering. But when people have sold their only plot, simply because they fear to be arrested. So are these recoveries, the ones we are talking about, from the real projects that we supported, or someone has gone to sell his only goat in the family, just because he is fearing to be arrested? Chair, I wanted to hear that, just for curiosity.
Yeah, as a focal point person, you are ever interested in their projects.
Yes.
So you will respond to honorable member whether the money they are recovering is being generated from that project that they started, whether pork, piggery, poultry. So because we don't want to punish members, someone to be selling his own property to recover the PDM fund. And also aware that during campaign, some of us politicians were telling that this is free government money, you use it, but at this time, let now members start seeing the reality. This money is for paying back, not to be given free to the community. So the campaign has gone. This time we are going for reality. Thank you. Account officer, want to add something?
Yeah, Chair, I had a humble request that regarding individual recoveries, I pray that you allow time to prepare it and submit before you, sir. But for these other concerns, I think you can proceed and respond.
Thank you. On this recovery, as Honorable Ngator proposed, we would like to see to look at the recovery individual by individual. On this note, the Kira Municipal Council, you are going to prepare the detailed report on the recovery individual by individual, and you will submit within 1 week to the office of the clerk. What we are interested in is seeing how recovery is being done. And you stated clearly.
Separate between the people who should have finished now.
Exactly.
And
So
who still have to finish.
exactly. So you are going to tell us clearly those who are supposed to finish by March. We are now in March, 4 days to end March. It means by now they shall have recovered fully. And those who are supposed to recover by September. So you have to separate so that as a committee we look and we take appropriate decision. Thank you.
Which we are moving. We are going to look now at the enterprise groups. And the issue here raised is the issue of non-compliance. The Auditor General noted that there was failure by the entity to adhere to the stipulated number of households in the enterprise groups. In some aspects, fewer households were found to be within the enterprise group, yet the threshold is for at least 10 households in an enterprise group. So the questions here which were raised are why were the enterprise groups, or the enterprise group requirements not adhered to? Then the next aspect was to do with the prior audit recommendations. 86% of these were not implemented. And the question is, why were these audit recommendations not implemented? And who is accountable for the non-compliance? There were unimplemented procurements totaling to about 840 million, and these were not implemented. And the reason given here were revenue shortfalls. Why should there have been revenue shortfalls when these activities had been planned for? That's why the question comes, why were the planned procurements not implemented? The Auditor General also noted the use of wrong procurement methods. And the question is, why were inappropriate procurement methods used? And who approved the deviation without proper justification? There were also contract delays. The delay in the performance of contracts was noted, and the questions were, why were contracts delayed beyond agreed timelines? Who was responsible for the poor contract management? Chair, we can get answers for that batch of questions, and then we shall proceed with more.
Thank you, Lead Counsel. Accounting Officer.
Thank you very much, sir. Chair, members, I request.
Thank you. Enterprise groups would like to state that registration.
Sorry, let me interrupt you briefly. Always, I want to refer you to the tape there. Construction of Onsawo, LC3. You use the cost was about 2 point. No, this is this is a different thing. Okay, proceed with the answer. This is a bit different. We shall come to it later.
Chair, that were found to have fewer numbers than the stipulated. We wish to state that the process of registering enterprise groups and their constituent members is a continuous process. And as such, therefore, Chair, at any one time, if you did a spot check, you'll find at least an enterprise group with a fewer numbers. Why? The reason is, for starters, the parish development committee approves physically the file with the full number of members. But when it comes to registering them into the system, the PDM's FIS, we usually encounter issues. For example, if the person is not is already registered outside Chira, and they have to sort out first. They have to be deleted from other entities, because as Chira, we are an urban area and we often get those, the migrants or the people migrating into the area, and therefore, when we encounter such, you may find that an enterprise group on the system has a number of people pending to be added onto it. So that is the usual challenge to that.
Chair, yes, what is the minimum according to the guideline?
The minimum is 10, sir.
It's 10.
Yes.
And that is exactly what the Auditor General is pointing out. That while in some enterprises you were supposed to have the minimum of 10, some of the enterprises had less than 10. And that's the concern.
I wish to say that that was as per the system, not as per the physical file.
So which is which now?
So the system produces different results, defining different results.
The physical file, as they are gotten and approved by the parish development committees, they are complete with all members with their national ID copies. But on registration, entering them into the PDM's FIS, that is where the challenges are encountered. And at any one time, you will find that this file on the system, this enterprise group on the system has 908 pending resolution of some issue on a member, but not that physically they are missing on file.
Then did you try to reconcile so that you're on the same page?
Yeah, the resolution is always ongoing. We always resolve those issues.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes,
I think the reason why the Auditor General pointed out this issue is that it was going beyond. You will recall in the report of the Auditor General on page 13, the Auditor General points out that he notes that out of 21 enterprise groups in 5 circles, all the 21 had less than 10. And I think this is the concern. In 5 circles, 21 enterprise groups, all of them are having less than 10. Yet, the minimum, according to the guidelines, is 10. And this is a concern.
Okay. Thank you. Maybe to give more clarity on that, Chira currently has over 800 registered enterprise groups on the system. So a percentage, okay, in proportionally, 21 when you do a system audit or check.
21 from 5.
Because we have 6 circles, but across the 6 circles, we have over 800 registered enterprise groups. So the 21 too, they was identified as having less than the stipulated 10, but all those are as per the issues that are encountered on a regular, but we keep resolving them.
Thank you. Lead counsel, let's proceed.
Okay, Chair.
Let's go to the next query.
I think we were through now with the PDM which have to do with the procurement. I think we're also you can start from there and proceed.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
That's something small.
Yes,
Before we move away from PDM.
I was already.
When you read the Auditor General's report, he indicates that out of the 7 recommendations he had pointed out in the previous audit, you had only implemented 1 under PDM. And Honorable Chair, that is a concern, that the Auditor General is able to make recommendations, and then at the end of the day, the recommendations are neglected. Yet these recommendations are meant to improve our performance on the ground. It's a concern, Honorable Chair, about PDM specifically.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe before we leave out the PDM issues, I would like to find out from our auditor, looking at the performance of Kira municipal councils and how they're implementing what you have given there. Can you tell the members your view whether at least they are trying to follow the advice, the guidance you have given to them? as far as PDM is concerned. Our auditor, take the microphone.
Yes, thank you, Chair, for that question.
I raised 3 projects which are not implemented. One was Chira Health Center for Phase 4. Another was Chirinya Classroom Block. And the other was the council fencing of the council hall, the council compound. The 2 chairperson and members, the first 2 have been fully implemented as per the contractual obligations. And then the council fencing of the council premises was the council actually changed priorities the following financial year, knowing that this was a campaign year. Councillors thought putting money at the headquarters won't favor them, and they chose to focus on projects outside the council admin block. So it was removed from the current budget, but the other 2 we have implemented and completed.
The evidence?
Yes, we provided on Annex 13.
Annex 13?
Yes, the other is on use of inappropriate procurement method, worth 4 billion Uganda shillings. Chair, this issue came out even in the previous audit report. We had a challenge with the contractor at the time. These 2 health facilities which we talked about, funded under UBFIT, were awarded to 1 contractor, and those are bigger projects. One was, it was both the elevation of health facilities from 2 to 3, given to 1 contractor called Hasso, one in Chirinya, another one in Mgongo, in South. This contractor was sluggish, very, very slow, and affected the second phase of the same, because it was, they were phased. So phase 1 was a finish to start for phase 2. Now the phase 1 contractor delayed was actually, to me, I would call him a menace to the entity and the Minister of Health. Thus, the delay went up to about March of the subsequent financial year. But mind you, had money for phase 2 completion in the same financial year, but it was a finish to start. Accordingly, and if it was about to end, to close. So what happened now? Going on to advertise through open domestic, the money would be lost. So what did we do was now to use a hybrid procurement, but the good news, Solicitor General approved the procurement, and accordingly the facilities are now complete and operational. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That is now, the other was, around 3, I want.
Shall we have evidence?
Yes.
The approval from the Auditor General?
Yes, we shall provide, sir.
Do you have it now, or you provide later?
We can provide later, 7 days. Chairperson allowed us 1 week. Okay, we shall provide it.
The issue is, because the query here is that you used the wrong procurement method, the one you are calling hybrid. And the Auditor General is concerned that you are trying to circumvent something. But you have said that you got permission from the Auditor General. And that is our area of interest. If you got permission, we have no problem with that. So I want you to present that permission that you got from the Solicitor General, I mean.
So, account officer, were you permitted?
Yes, sir.
Where is the evidence?
We shall provide it, sir. We actually have it here. I can't lie before.
Yes, Honorable.
Chair. Okay, let me first thank the accounting officer for explaining. But the query was raised by Auditor General. The query was on the method of procurement. The query was saying, why use selective bidding instead of using open bidding? Chair, according to PDM Act and the regulations require that when there are works and works that will attract amount beyond 500 million, instead of open bidding, when the threshold is clearly stated by the PDM Act, beyond 500, go open bidding.
Chair, I've been asked to be slow.
Accounting officer.
Slow. Chair, we are among the challenging projects for implementation by local governments. Why? It involved the ministries, either education or health, and the participating local governments. And they termed it hybrid procurements. And it was indeed a challenge all over the country. And we have raised concerns. Chair, for information, I'm the chairperson for town clerks of Uganda, all of them. So I speak even for them. We had outcry all over the country. Why? The power centers are between the ministry and the local government. Now, with this challenge, Minister of Health sat with us. Such here, for information, and we should appreciate. We are not in offices. We are there to manage. We are there as public servants. People of Chira need the health facility. You can't just come here and you say 4 billion went back because the law, you can't imagine. Chair, even if you are you. That's why we are there as senior officers to manage, to have the purpose, objectives delivered. So in this regard, this was 2 months, the closure of the financial year. That's when the previous contractor handed over the phase 1. What do? Convene with key stakeholders, consult, and main objectives not lost. What was it? Serve the people of Chira with the health facilities in place, for which I have said they are now operational. Thanks be to God. Now, indeed, aware that public service again exists, indeed approved. In fact, I've been given one of the approvals here. We have 2, but one of the approvals is here. If there's a doubt, member can but and Chair, we try to manage for which you have no regret. The people of Chair now have the facilities, Health Center 3, 12 of them operational.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Kabale.
Chair, my request is let the accounting officer provide all the documentation, but when we sit, we may need to invite those people, the use of health people who are doing work contract to PPDA, because any approval should have been by PPDA. Yes, because they are the custodian of these laws. So for him, he has done his part. Wheelchair, I'm requesting that he provides the evidence, but at our time as a committee, we scrutinize the documents, and if need be, we shall request other people to come and explain this.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Accounting Officer, within 1 week, you will bring the evidence, and as we sit as committee, we shall look at those evidences that you have provided as we take our decision appropriately.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
The last, Chair, is about the delayed contract implementation of those 2 projects, which I have just explained. This concerns those 2 projects. The contractor was a menace, hassle. So this query regards that. Why did we do to constitute? The problem was the contractor who had so many gaps, much of which are financial in nature. Why? They used to get so many projects across the country and were unable to effectively manage, and affected us accordingly. And we hope this new GIFIT 2 we expect to be managed differently by government. Thank you, sir. So the same point. Let me submit.
Yeah, thank you, honourable members. Let's proceed to the next query.
Chair, we don't hear that the accounting officers provided evidence. The bidding process, the bidding method was.
Lead counsel, use the microphone.